Well, I could not think of a more fitting debut than to have a 1951 Selmer refret and fingerboard correction to kick off the new GPS TechDeck model. The very unusual fretting technique that I needed to employ on this very rare and valuable guitar. There's some very unique features that are different than any other member of the guitar family, and we'll point them out as we do the refret on this. On one of the past refrets, obviously a big chunk came out of here and it was sort of put back in. We're going to correct all this stuff, but I'm pointing it out now before I pull the frets so you can see all this sort of previous chipping. There'll be no trace of chips or any indication that a fret job was even done. Now that the work has been completed on this Selmer guitar, I want to give you a rundown of everything that had to be done, what I did, how I did it, and why I did it the way I did it. I thought I should take a second and point out some aspects of this guitar from a design standpoint that make it quite a bit different than your typical arch-top guitar or even acoustic guitar. So starting with this black walnut neck, the actual headstock is mahogany, and you can see the joint right here. This is a piece of black walnut. That's what they used with the ebony fingerboard and a mahogany heel. The back and the sides are rosewood. These are the original machine heads. They work perfectly fine. They don't need anything at all. We got this big, thick, solid ebony overlay, and that's what gives the headstock its strength. So with a fluted headstock, typically it's not quite as strong as a solid headstock would be, but with that big, thick ebony overlay, well, that's pretty well restored any tensile strength that was lost by routering out for the machine heads. So the previous fret job had the frets glued in. Now I did glue them in, but I also used a mechanical press fit as well. We've spent the last couple of years consulting with builders and techs and guitar pro shops and schools, and basically distilling the needs down so that we have a one-stop, multi-adjustable, portable workstation that folds up into a case. We have switched from leather to a canvas strap. There's a couple of reasons for that. It is much more supple than leather. There's no break-in period. It does not scratch the instrument, and yet it holds it firmly. And of course, the other advantage of using the canvas straps is length is no longer an issue. And this is a 51-inch strap. You can see that there's plenty of length to spare, even going across this 16-inch lower bout on the Selmer guitar. We still have the multi-adjustable pivoting telescopic neck assembly with the leather pads and V-blocks. Now on this GPS unit, I've chosen a little bit different route to go. I've filled this cavity completely with high-density foam and half of this cavity. It's kind of semi-staged, but really, if you look at any of my past videos, you'll see that I often utilize this type of foam for jamming my tools in and snap them up and go whenever I need them. This end as well, I filled it with foam. Now this unit, I opted to go with the leather upgrade, so there's a slip of leather put over that foam pad. But there's lots of people out there just using the foam pads. For myself, personally, I went for the leather. If you want to be a little more cost effective, you can have the foam that you see so many people using. But you do have the option for leather. I'm not done yet. There's a couple more very cool features to sort of point out on this. Once you remove the neck assembly, you can just tuck it into the side of the case here, and you're ready to pack up and go. Here's another cool feature. The lid comes with breakaway hinges, so you can just take it off and set it aside. Now if you're on tour and you want to lean it up against a wall or something and use it for a storyboard, you can do that as well. From Thomas Nordig's full flight case model that he's got on tour with Steve Vai, it's 71 pounds. We've reduced the weight of the unit to 27 pounds in the case. Okay, here's another very cool option. Direct feedback from guys on tour, pro shops, and builders. These are 1/4-20 Panhead Fasteners. You can just take those right out. Just stick a 1/4 rod in there. There's 4 of them. So this allows you to basically drill a hole in your workbench, in your Black & Decker Workmate, or for that matter, if you want to take it on tour and drop it into a flight case, you leave the top at home, you drop these 1/4 fasteners in there, and you bolt it to the inside of the flight case. And then when you get home, well, you just put your regular fasteners back in. Or, if you prefer, you just bolt it to your workbench.